Hi everyone, I am here to just share a little love on the idea of change and how we manage change in our life and allow ourselves to change even when it feels uncomfortable for ourselves and the people around us. So let me start by saying I am in no way, shape, or form a therapist. I've been to therapy, a lot of therapy, but not a therapist. But have experienced a lot of change myself. So many of you know, 3 years ago, I got out of a 14-year relationship, which was a huge shift and change just for me personally. On top of that, I left a job in a company that I was with for 10 years and moved to Boston and started a new job in a new career in a new field. And made new friends and lived in a new place and experienced a lot of change. On top of all of that change happening, 6 weeks after I moved here, COVID hit. So I was then feeling the heaviness of everything that had happened over the last few months, the changes that I was going through in my life, in my career. And then I was at home alone with my thoughts. Like, that's scary, right? And I know so many of us experienced so many things during that period of time. But what I want to touch on today is a little bit about how we manage change, because whether it's a small change or big change in our life, we feel it. We feel every single shift or change that's happening in us or even around us. And so we talked so much in our last retreat about self-care. And I think those tools can be used in so many ways to help manage the emotions that come up while we're experiencing change. I would say one of the first things I learned in therapy, and one of the most valuable things, I swear this will probably end up tattooed on my body, is the idea to sit in our discomfort. Because the first thing we want to do when change happens, and all those really uncomfortable feelings happen, is we want to run from them, feel more comfortable, bring in all the cozy comfies, right? Like, that is an instant reaction. I think when we're experiencing change and some of those feelings that happen along the way and throughout that journey. And so I learned very quickly to recognize what I was feeling, identify what I was feeling, and then allow myself to feel that way. And we have so many tools and so many coping skills in our toolbox to be able to support those feelings. So those are always my first go-tos in terms of managing change, is to use the tools that you know that work. So something I realized through that process is that when we are changing, other people are really uncomfortable, right? So we're experiencing all these feels, and then on top of that, it's weird for other people when we change. So whether you're going through a large change like I did, where, I'm uplifting my entire life, I'm starting a new career, I'm single for the first time in my adult life, all these huge, big changes, and those things were weird for the people around me to see me sort of develop into this different person that they were not used to. But little things like, in the last week, I decided to go from traditional shampoo to clean shampoo with Beautycounter. And, I already have gotten like, are you turning in like a full-on hippie? Like, what's going on? You're like changing all the things you're using. And ultimately, like, I have to reflect and think, their feelings are not mine. So as we decide to be more intentional about what we're putting in our body, the environment we're in, the things that we're doing on a daily basis, right? The routines that we have, the changes that we make. It is okay for other people to think you're crazy or think you're losing it or whatever their feelings might be about all the fun things that you're doing for you. And remember, just like our feelings are valid, so are theirs. They can feel them, they can think what they want, and they can hold on to them and hold space with just themselves in those feelings. And we'll let that go. We worry about our feelings, how we feel about the changes we're making sure and checking in with ourselves to make sure that all of these healthy changes are things that are making us feel good and our best self every single day. Those are the things that matter. So, hope this is helpful as you make really intentional decisions about how to be your best self.